Yo, leader of these stupid contractors. We are going to make your delivery date even sooner.
Good evening, Nick. You can call me Candace, by the way. I understand that my company is full of contractors that supply parts for you, but it'd be nice if you still referred to me by my actual name, please.
Sure. So you're gonna get those parts to me even sooner, right?
I'm sorry to say this, but I don't believe that we can.
Huh? Are you kidding me right now? You're nothing more than the leader of a small contractors group who does nothing more than make spare parts for larger firms like me. And you're saying you can't get a job done sooner for me?
I'm just telling you the reality of the situation, and asking for those parts sooner isn't going to happen.
Then in order to make things go more quickly over at your factory, I'm going to be sending some of my men over to help. Mike, Brent, and Stuart.
Huh? Are you sure you want to send those three? As far as I'm aware, they're all your top 3 performing workers, and they shouldn't be asked to come help with my team. And haven't they been with you since you started?
What difference does that make to me? I'm sending them to help you out because those 3 ended up stabbing me in the back. So I had them all fired for that.
Don't you think you've gone a bit too far by doing that to them? They might even take action against you for doing something like that.
Well, it's not like I fired them wrongfully. Those 3 men wanted to change their occupations.
They wanted to change? Wait, you have to understand that those 3 are too old now to be changing their lines of work now.
Jeez. No matter how much I try and break things to you, you can't seem to get a grasp of things. The reason I'm giving them up is because I've hired some friends of my own, and I needed to make space on my payroll, and did so by firing those 3 geezers.
You hired your own friends?
I had some friends who went to the same university as me who said they were looking for some work. And they told me they wanted an easy job that paid them well. And so I made it seem as though those 3 old men stabbed me in the back some way, and then had them fired to make room for my buddies.
Are you being serious?
I'm being very serious right now. So let's get back to what I came here to talk about. I don't need those 3 anymore, so you can go ahead and take them on as your employees and get the work I'm asking for done quicker. Then you won't have to keep making excuses for why you can't get any parts to me.
Hold on. I understand that you want this conversation to wrap up pretty quickly here, but I just want to make sure I have this all down correctly. You originally asked me to have my product to you sooner than the date we had agreed on, but I told you that no matter how much harder I pushed my workers, that wouldn't be possible. And so now you're going to give me 3 of your best men because you've hired some of your own friends to take their spots, and want your 3 best men to help my factory get said work done. However, what happens if we're still unable to get that work done at an earlier date?
As long as you take on those 3 old men, I don't care if you continue aiming for our previously discussed target date.
Understood. So that's going to be our agreement then today?
Correct. So what do you think?
Well, actually, I have one last thing to ask. I'm not completely sure what kinds of skills and trades these 3 men I'm about to hire have, but are you really sure you're okay handing them off to me?
Those 3 are able to get any work you ask them to get done. And they're all willing to work overtime whenever asked to make sure any quotas are hit. And as for their skills, you don't even have to worry about that considering they've all worked pretty much every job they've been asked to, and have done them well.
Well, if later down the road you ask for me to give them back to your company, please be aware that I will not.
I'm never asking for them back. They've grown far too old to help me now, and most of their motivation's down the drain now. Go ahead and fire them from your company if you ended up never needing them.
Is that so? Well, if that's what you want me to agree to, then so be it.
I'm not sure how helpful those geezers will be for you, but understand that me getting rid of them will not hurt my productivity in the slightest. So they're all yours now.
Then starting tomorrow, I will be taking on Mike, Brent, and Stuart to start working for me within my company. You don't mind that at all, correct?
Go right ahead. They are already being fired from my company, so you don't need to ask me for permission before doing anything with them.
Is that so? Understood. Thank you, Nick. I'll make sure to put them all to good use.
You sure about that?
Good morning, Mike. Long time no see. This is Candace from Wilds LLC.
My oh my. If it isn't the little girl of Mr. Daniels.
You don't have to keep calling me his little girl anymore. And as of right now, I've been given his company and everything, so you can call me the CEO of Wilds LLC now.
Oh, is that right? He made sure to put his daughter through it all so that she could become the perfect young woman. I can't say the same for the little man in charge of my last job.
Are you talking about that 26-year-old man, Nick, who's taken over your previous company and has started to make a name for himself there?
Right. I'm starting to get a little worried about him, especially after what he's been doing recently.
Well, I've heard all about him.
Huh?
Just yesterday he was talking with me about what he wanted from me, as well as what all happened with you guys. He told me that he had you and 2 other men, Brent and Stuart, fired so that he could hire more of his friends to come work for him.
Is that what happened?
To me, this all seems like unfair termination of your guys' jobs there. And as for me now, I don't mind talking more about what's been happening within that company. So, do you mind telling me a bit more about what's been going on there, and why Nick thinks this is all a good idea?
Sure. As far as I'm aware, he's been trying to work on cutting costs within the company so that he looks better in front of his shareholders. But in order to do that, he began sending a lot of his company's work overseas to be done for cheaper by foreign sources.
He's having everything manufactured overseas?
If the products he was having manufactured outside the US were any good, then I wouldn't be complaining. But it seems he doesn't mind that all the products we get in are trash. Well, anyway, if you want to hear the real reason the 3 of us were fired, it's due to us all complaining about the quality of what the company was bringing in from overseas. And the day after we complained, we were all informed that we've been terminated. At least to keep things as clean as possible with the terminations, he was willing to give us all packages.
I see. So this had nothing to do with him hiring friends to work for him then? Well, have you started to think about what you want to do now?
Well, not yet. I'm not sure what to do now. I've been thinking a lot about my family now, and I've been hoping that they understand that it'll be some time before I can find new work. Not only that, but I'm also getting pretty old now.
Mike, if you don't mind, would you like to come work for me?
Well that's...
And it wouldn't be just you that I'm asking, but Brent and Stuart as well. So what do you think?
Well, that is. I'm very thankful for you offering me a position within your company. We don't have too much longer before we all really start to consider retirement. So are you really okay with the 3 of us being hired into your company and working for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've actually begun working on creating a new department within my company. And soon I plan to hire in a lot of younger work to begin handling said new department. But I'm going to need a few men with plenty of years of experience in these fields to come in and train them so that they have a better understanding of the demands my company and this industry have. So if I have the 3 of you, with all the knowledge you men hold, join my company and work your last couple of years with me, then I feel that the opening of this new department will go very smoothly for me.
Is that so? Thinking that much about how to implement the 3 of us into your company. Thank you.
Also, having spoken to you about this, do you mind if I go and talk with Brent and Stuart now about the same thing?
Yes, please go tell them.
Then I'll plan to have them both well informed by this time tomorrow. And as for you becoming an employee within my company, I'd like you to tell me before tomorrow what days you'd like off this next year, and if you have any other demands you'd like me to meet.
Understood. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Candace!
Give me back those 3 right now.
Huh? Ah, this must be you, Nick. It's been around a year now since the last time we spoke to one another. Now what do you mean by me handing those 3 back to you?
Those friends of mine that I hired to work for me ended up being completely useless. I thought for sure that since I knew all of them really well and knew the educations they had, it would work well under my leadership. But they haven't been able to do jack for me, and I can't use them anymore.
Well, that would happen, wouldn't it?
Also, here's something I heard while you've been holding on to these 3. Apparently they have all been doing very well for themselves, and are considered top class in their fields now. I had to tell a lot of my customers why the quality of my products have gone down, and when explaining to them that I've gotten rid of Mike and those other 2, they let me know how stupid I was.
I knew something like this would happen to you. After all, those friends of yours you've told me you hired are actually a bunch of overseas partners that you've been sending all your work off to for cheaper, hoping to save some money, right? Well, it seems that those savings you gained from doing so also ended up ruining the quality of all your products, and now you're left dealing with some very angry customers.
Please, Candace. Give those 3 back to me so that they could fix all of this.
No way.
Why not?
They've made it very clear to me that they don't want to work under you anymore.
Well, I'll make sure to fix things. If you can get them to come back to me, I'll make sure to never rush a production ever again, or ask for anything more out of your company.
Ah, no thank you.
What?
I've just finished implementing a new department into my company that has ventured out into some new technologies. And that department has already been making my company tenfold what all the other departments have made, so if I were to send those 3 back to you, I'd lose my biggest profit maker.
Huh?
Also, on top of that, I told you a year ago when you told me to take them off your hands that if you ever wanted them back, I'd say no. And back then I know for a fact that you agreed with me on that term. So can you please stop trying to break the promise we had?
Candace, please. I'm asking you to please. Please just forget about everything you said to me a year ago and hand those 3 back to me. That's all I want. I'm not joking when I said that right now. My company is in seriously hot water. If I can't get my company back to producing quality goods, then it's all gonna go under.
Well, telling me all of that isn't going to get you anywhere. I'll be going now.
Hold on a second, Candace! Mike, please! I'm asking you to please come back to my company.
If it isn't my old boss, Nick. It's been such a long time now.
I don't need you to sit there talking like I'm some old friend of yours. Now get your butt back here. I'm telling you right now that I'm willing to hire you again.
I'm sure that what you're saying right now is a load of crap, right?
What are you going on about?
I could have sworn you told Candace that you had the 3 of us fired to make room for some of your friends to come and work for you, right? Ah, and that's the other thing. You didn't want to make it seem as though you fired us for that reason. So you also told Candace that we wanted to change careers anyway, right?
That was...
As far as I'm concerned, you wanted to hide your true intentions from everybody by saying that. Just so you didn't have to fear being taken to court for firing us unfairly. Well, no worries, Nick. We had only been with your company since the day it was founded by your father, and had made sure to work there with all loyalty to you guys. But after being fired by you for BS excuses, I think we no longer see you as the man your father was, and that's okay.
Huh?
As of right now, Brent, Stewart, and I no longer have to be worried about what we are going to do, because we have a new boss in charge of us, who is far more caring about the experiences we have as our employees. And, unlike you, she plans to only hold on to us for the next few years, so that when it's time for us to want to retire, she'll give us a very nice package and let us go. Of course, we could come back to you when our time is up here and we've retired. But remember, we no longer feel loyal to you and your company, so I don't think you'll ever get our help when the time comes. Well, that's if your company is even around by that point.
Candace, hey, please. How about you get married to me and then start helping my company get back on its feet so that the two of us can become a power couple?
Are you kidding me?
I understand that it's not what either of us want right now, but I'd much rather be married to you and keep my company than have it to go under and no longer have any money. In other words, I don't have any other choice besides marrying you and getting your help. You don't even have to stay with me after my company is back on its feet. You can divorce me right after that. So please come help me.
Well, listen to this, Nick.
Yes?
I'm already married.
Huh? But your last name? That's the same name as your father's.
Well, that's because my husband ended up taking my family's name. And as of right now, we already have 2 kids, both in elementary school.
What the heck?
So we can be finished here, right?
I'm screwed.
Goodbye now, Nick. In the end, it seems that the second-generation CEO of that company ended up taking the company under. He did make mistakes by thinking he could cut costs by sending workers out to overseas partners to make parts for him. But the thing that really sunk his company was more personal. It's understandable that keeping workers for a very long time will see them costing you more money to keep employed, especially when they're good at their jobs. But Nick made a huge mistake getting rid of 3 of his best men so that he can cut costs, even though they were the ones carrying his company and making sure the quality was right. Anyway, after the loss of his company, he was still in debt to a few banks that he had been taking loans from to try and help his company. And to help start making some money to pay them off, he began working for one of his friends, at the starting level on the floor of the factory. But of course, he never lost that toxic personality of his, and so relations with the other workers within the factory began to sour. And before long, he was out of that job as well. I'm not sure what's happened to Nick since then, but I'm sure he's regretting what he did to his company a while back and will never be able to move on from it. And as for my company, we have been doing really well this year and expect to do even better these coming years thanks to the new department. However, it won't be long before I have to say goodbye to Mike and the guys, as they'll soon be on their way to retiring. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Holly, hi. Look, I don't really want to be talking to you right now, but I don't really have any other choice. I need to confirm something from you, and the easiest way is to do it directly. Trying to go through David is like talking to a brick wall sometimes.
Oh, hey Vicky. Yeah, I know, lol. Sometimes when I know that he isn't listening to me and that he's far off in his thoughts, I'll ask for something ridiculous and crazy, which he always agrees to. And then when he snaps back into being aware of his surroundings and people, he'll ask me what he agreed to, and I won't tell him just to wind him up, lol.
I see. So what you're telling me is that you often take advantage of my son to get whatever it is you want? as he's often deep in thought and can't process whatever inane thing it is you're requesting at the time. Have I got that right?
Huh? Oh, no, not at all. You don't need to worry about it seeming like I'm bullying him or taking advantage of him or anything. Everything I ask is always just small and innocuous. Like, the other day, I asked him if he would buy me these really nice shoes that I've been looking at for ages. Obviously, I wouldn't actually make him buy them, though. And I always tell him what I asked eventually, if he doesn't remember. So, you don't need to worry that your son is being taken advantage of. I would never do anything like that to him. It's just kind of like a little teasing game between the two of us.
Okay, great. I didn't really need all that info. I'm not stupid. I understand the concept of couples having their own little jokes and that they aren't being horrible to each other.
Oh, okay. Great. I just didn't want you thinking that I'm a horrible person or anything like that. You seemed kind of annoyed or upset at first there.
Trust me, that ship has already sailed.
Huh? What do you mean? You think I'm horrible?
Is that really important right now? Look, like I said, I don't really want to be talking to you, but I need to confirm whether or not you'll be coming to this dinner that I'm putting together for David's birthday. I need to confirm the numbers at the restaurant ASAP, so you need to tell me now.
Oh, what dinner is this?
God, how dim-witted can you be? It's the one for my son's birthday. I literally just said that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, but I was just a bit confused because David's birthday isn't for another 2 months yet.
And? Is that a problem?
Well, it's just people usually celebrate people's birthdays on the day that they were actually born, not 2 months earlier. LOL.
Well, I won't be in town in a couple of months' time, and I want to spend some time with my precious little boy for his birthday. Is that okay? Or are you suddenly the birthday police who make sure that people don't celebrate birthdays before their designated days?
Oh, no, it's not a problem. I mean, I just didn't know you were going away.
Yes, well, I am. Or do I need to run every little detail of my life past you before I can do anything? Huh?
No, it's fine. I'm sorry for offending you. So what's this dinner all about then? When is it? Is there a special outfit code or anything like that?
God, don't you listen? It's for David's birthday, so it will be this weekend. I'm booking it for 8 p.m. at the Jeweler's Inn, and seeing how that restaurant is one of the fanciest in town, you will have to dress up a little bit.
The Jeweler's Inn?
Yes, is there a problem with the pub now? Does it not meet your standards or something?
Oh no, not at all. It's a lovely looking place, but it's just that it's a bit expensive. I've looked online before and all of the main dishes are above $20 each. I just don't know if me and David can afford that really. We're not exactly the richest people out there, you know.
Well, you'll just have to find the money from somewhere, won't you? I want to take my son to a lovely restaurant for his birthday, so that's what I'm going to do. And you better not spoil it for me. I don't care if you have to sell some of your things or whatever, but I want my son eating at this inn for his birthday. Got it?
Yes. I understand. I'll figure something out. You don't need to worry.
I wasn't worried. Now, I know that might be difficult for you and all, considering all of your clothes look like things you'd wear to work in, but maybe you can make a bit more of an effort for David this time and actually go and buy yourself a nice dress. I'm sure he would be very grateful to see that he actually married a woman.
Are you seriously insinuating that I'm not a woman?
Well, have you seen yourself in a mirror lately? You look like a butch lesbian or something. Not to mention that all of your clothes reflect that as well. You have nothing nice to wear on a day-to-day basis, and it makes you seem like a man with the way you dress. Honestly, have you never heard of a nice summer dress or a skirt and blouse? It would do you a world of good, believe me.
I'm sorry, but why are you being so rude and horrible to me? I haven't done anything to you to deserve it, and attacking me on such a personal level is ridiculous. My clothes are fine, and so is how I look. You honestly are starting to sound like a child.
Yes, well, I just don't think that you're right for my son. I asked him not to marry you, but he was set on doing it anyway.
Hang on, why didn't you want him to marry me?
Well, let's face it, you're not exactly the most amazing woman out there, are you? In fact, you're just a normal nobody who can't really offer David much in life. If it were up to me, David would have married my friend's daughter, and then the two of them would have been set for life.
Well, I mean, I can offer him lots of things in life, like a good and loving home where he can come back to and feel safe and relax after a hard day of work. Not to mention that I also work as a teacher, so I bring in money as well. We share all of the costs in life, so I help out a lot actually.
And yet you're still on such a meager amount of money? How sad. Let's face it, you're just a burden to David. Without you, he could have done so much more and achieved so much. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to hope that his children will take after him. That way I can help steer them in the right direction in life.
Okay, first of all, me and David would be the ones who decided what happened with our children if we had them. You know, being the actual parents and all, we would be the ones who decided what school they went to, what they were allowed to eat and drink, and what they would be taught at home. Being their grandparent, you would have to follow our rules concerning our children, and if you tried to subvert what we asked of you and tried to teach our kids stuff we didn't like, then you would lose your privileges to see them.
You can't do that. I would be their grandmother. I have every right to see my grandchildren.
No, you have the right to see them if me and David tell you that you have the right to see them. That is all.
Why you?
Look, I really don't want to talk to you right now. So just put me down as yes, I'm coming to the meal. I know the details, so we can end this conversation here now. Goodbye.
Fine. I'm done talking to such a pathetic woman anyway. Is there something that you want to tell me?
Huh? Vicky? What are you on about? Why are you messaging me?
I will ask again. Is there something you want to tell me?
What? No. There's nothing that I need to tell you. Besides, you're the one who messaged me, so clearly you're the one who wants to say something.
Yes, actually, I do want to say something.
Well, hurry up then. I don't have all day.
Oh, I will take my sweet time with this conversation. How dare you not tell me that you can't have children?
Whoa. Wait a second. What?
You heard me. I know that you are infertile. How dare you not say anything to me about it? I bet you blackmailed David not to tell me either, didn't you? My son would have told me otherwise. He would have come straight to me and asked for my help in this matter. But no, you told him not to say a word. I can't believe what you've done. I am incensed.
Okay, back up a minute. Where on earth has all this come from? How did you know what has been happening with me and David? Because clearly David hasn't told you anything considering how you're blaming me and accusing me of making him keep quiet about it.
I found out through my friend, Dr. Heiser. Know her? She's the one who actually did your test in the clinic. She told me all about how you and David had gone to her because you were having trouble having a baby, and how she had to give you tests to see if you were infertile or not. She also told me how you got your results back today and how you are the one who is infertile. I can't believe it. You're ruining everything. Is there not one thing you can do right? I never wanted David to marry you, but I thought, hey, at least she'll give him some kids. That'll be good for something. But you can't even do that. What kind of useless, good-for-nothing woman are you? I mean, can you even call yourself a woman if you can't have kids? Because I don't think so. You're absolutely nothing. You're just worthless. Honestly, the best thing you could do for David now is to divorce him and let him find a woman who is actually good for him. One who can actually give him children.
Okay, you need to stop right now. What me and David go through is none of your business. Our situation is completely our business and our business only. You have nothing, I mean nothing to do with this at all. And for you to attack me like this, God, I can't believe you.
Excuse me?
You heard me. This is an incredibly difficult time for me and David, and yet here you are, blaming me and saying how I should just divorce the man that I love, the one who is actually helping me in this incredibly difficult time. I mean, what is wrong with you? How cruel can one person be that they immediately start spewing vitriol at a woman only a few hours after she finds out that she can't have children? Do you think that I want to be infertile? Do you honestly think that I don't want children? I have dreamt of having kids since I first met David. I thought that he would be the perfect father, and it was a dream of mine for us to raise a family together. So I really don't need you attacking me right now. Got it? Just leave me alone. Oh, and by the way, you can tell Dr. Heiser that I will definitely be going to my lawyers about her breach of confidentiality. Telling you about mine and David's issues is a massive breach of confidence. She'll be dealing with my lawyers soon enough.
Are you threatening my friend? That's not very nice, is it? She hasn't done anything wrong. All she's done is answer some questions I had. That's all. So you don't even have a leg to stand on, even if you did go to your lawyers.
Actually, it really is against the law. I have a proper case against her, but that's none of your business either.
My son is going to hear all about how you've treated me today, how rude you've been.
Oh, don't you worry. David will definitely be hearing about this conversation. I'll make sure of it.
He's my son. He's going to support me over you.
We'll just see about that. David, your mother has gone way too far this time.
What do you mean? What's happened?
She just messaged me and said that she knows about our fertility issues and that it's all my fault.
Hang on, how did she even know about that?
Apparently, our doctor is a friend of your mother's, and she told her all about our issues.
That's completely against the law. She can't do that. It's doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yeah, I know, but it's too late now. She's told your mom and our issues, and she went off on a massive rant saying that I should divorce you so that you can find a real woman who can give you kids, and you two can live happily ever after.
Whoa, what? Now she wants you to divorce me?
Yep, apparently I'm not a woman because I can't have kids.
She did not say that. Right, that's it. I'm gonna have a word with her, a very stern word.
Normally, I'd ask you not to, but I just can't believe she said all of that to me. You know how heartbroken I am about this. I really don't need her getting on my back about all of this.
Hey, don't you worry about this for another second. I'll sort her out. You don't need to be worried that she's gonna say anything like that ever again. I want you to take all the time you need to process this information. I'll be there for you every step of the way. I promise.
Thank you, sweetie. I'm sorry to just go off on you and dump all of that on you.
It's okay. You got nothing to apologize for. I promise.
I'll see you later then. I love you.
I love you too.
I can't believe you tattled to David like that. He had a massive go at me yesterday. My son has never done that before. You've corrupted him, making him hate me.
I didn't make him do anything. He just didn't want you being vile to me. So, why are you messaging me now?
Because I have something to say to you concerning the dinner tonight.
And what's that?
You're not qualified to join us. This dinner is exclusively for family members.
Your husband and son are currently with me.
Huh?
Yeah, after hearing how you treated me yesterday, David was appalled, as you probably know after he talked to you. Anyway, he told his dad what you said, and John was equally as appalled. They decided that instead of the dinner tonight, they wanted to spend the day in a relaxing atmosphere. Both me and David can't be dealing with your horrible vitriol. So, John came over and we're having a little lunch. Then, me and David are going to go away on a little vacation and just mourn together. It's what we need.
But that's not fair. I should be there too.
No. In fact, David and I have decided that we want nothing to do with you.
What do you mean?
After how you treated me, we have decided that we don't need someone so toxic in our lives. Someone who would so willingly blame me for something that isn't my fault.
But
Goodbye, Vicky. Don't contact me again.
wait.
After telling Vicky off, I blocked all of her numbers so that she couldn't contact me again. David also did the same, as he couldn't believe what his mother had done to me. We went on vacation like I said we would, and whilst we were there, our lives changed. We came across an orphanage where we met an adorable little girl. It was from then on that both me and David decided that we wanted to adopt. We've begun the process, and the little girl we met is the one who we are trying to adopt. Whilst my diagnosis was an incredibly heartbreaking thing, it's good to know that it's not the end of being able to have children. There are plenty of children in the world who need a loving home and parents to grow up in, and me and David are happy to provide that. As for Vicky, the last I heard was that she told all of her friends what had happened, but funnily enough, they seemed to think that she was the one in the wrong, and they all decided to stop being friends with her. Sometimes, people will bring their own karma down on them. Oh, and as for Dr. Heiser, me and David are currently in the process of suing her for breach of contract. She has also lost her medical license due to what she did, something that is deserved, as who knows who else she could have damaged with her gossip.